Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network and another edition of On Campus Friday. Pierre McGuire, Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good. I'm very excited to talk to our Friday guest. And I'll tell you why. I've been watching him coach for a long time. I watched him play as a player, both at Quinnipiac and in the American League and in the East Coast League. But the thing about him is I watched his team play up in the North Country this past, middle of November, probably. I broadcast the game, St. Lawrence versus Dartmouth. And I can tell you know how many college games I watch.
Yeah.
I have not seen, and I love good coaching. I've not seen a better coached team than Dartmouth College. I have not.
Yep.
There are a lot of really well-coached teams. There are a lot of really good teams. I have not seen a better coached team than Dartmouth College.
Well, let's bring in Dartmouth's head coach right now, Reid Cashman, joining us here on the Eye Test. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
He lost his razor on the way to the interview.
Playoff beard, already going.
I just shaved. That's the scary thing. This is clean cut for me.
Lou Lamorello would respectfully disagree.
For sure. Yeah, I know.
Well, first off, Coach, how are we doing? How's everything going today?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We had a good skate, and school's out for us. We've been out since Thanksgiving, so we're able to get the guys here early, get them breakfast, practice, and get them in the weight room. So we're done for the day as coaches. Back to pro hockey. Go have some lunch and go home.
Hey, Jimmy, and coach is spot on. Dartmouth is one of the few schools in the country that does trimesters.
Right.
So their first semester, these guys are off till probably the middle of January, huh, Coach? Right around there.
Yeah, early January. We finished the week before Thanksgiving, and then we're off. We got about 6 weeks of they go home for a little bit, but we got about 6 weeks of being back in junior hockey or pro hockey or no school, which is nice. So
yeah, I used to like those afternoons in pro hockey when our team was winning. When they weren't winning, it wasn't as much fun.
Yeah, long days, no doubt.
Yeah.
On that note, Coach, one of the things I wanted to ask you, actually, so good segue, is as a coach, how do you approach this time of year when it's not your usual routine and there's a lot of free time on the players' hands, the holidays, a lot of distractions, so to speak, even though there's no classes, but there's other things going on. How do you approach it when you're going in?
Yeah, we had a really big discussion this year about it because last year we had a similar start. Last year we were 5-0-1, and we went into this break. And as coaches, we're like, man, this is going to be unbelievable. All hockey, they'll be so focused. And we went 2-7-1, and it was really a disappointing stretch. And I talked to our seniors after the year, and they talked about, man, this break is actually hard. No students around. It's quiet. It gets dark quicker. And so we spent a lot of time this year on, are we going to take advantage of this? Are we going to eat right? Are we going to sleep right? Like, we think this can build us into the second half of the year and get our minds and our bodies in a really good spot. And so, one of the things, these guys are kids, and they'd go home and they'd take naps, and then they'd wake up and they do what they're going to do, and they'd go to bed late. And so their sleep was all out of whack. So we spent a lot of time talking about sleep and not napping and how can we maximize this? And then we've provided more meals. We've had some mentorship, some alumni programs in the afternoon to make sure these guys stay active. We had Lee Stepniak, who played 900 games in the NHL and director of player development for Utah. He met with our guys on Monday. And so they don't have the school, but we've done more stuff in the afternoon to make sure we're keeping them active. And I've been really proud of how our guys have handled it. Their energy has been excellent.
That's fantastic. That's really proactive coaching, Jimmy. I love that from Coach Cashman. I have a question for you. I know what I like about your team. I love the way you guys support the puck and come out of your own zone. I love the way you play in all three zones because of your puck support. What do you like the most about your team?
The two things I like the most is how much they love each other. It's unbelievable how much they care for each other. And then we just compete. Like our guys they're on it. They're into it. They compete on Monday practice. They compete on Friday night, regardless of who the opponent is. And then specifically, little Pierre, like I believe in, you want to be a better offensive team, break the puck out. You want to be a better defensive team, break the puck out. We do some sort of breakouts every day. It's a massive focus for us, and I love our D-core, and it's not their job to break it out. It's 6-man breakouts, goalie included, but I really like the way we get out of our zone.
Jimmy, I'm telling you right now, that's what I love the most about their team. Just as a team, I don't know the inner workings. I'm not in their dressing room. Coach can speak to that. If you're a young coach out there, you're coaching prep school, you're coaching junior, you're coaching at different levels below the college level, watch Dartmouth come out of their own zone. There's not a team in college hockey that's better than them. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, Coach, another thing I was just saying before we came on the air there is this consistency between the pipes that you've had over the last few years. You lose a guy like Cooper Black, then you get goaltended again last year, and this year.
Hey, don't forget Clay Stevenson.
Clay Stevenson, but it's just from one great goalie to another. What's been the key there in terms of filling the pipes with this dominance, so to speak?
Yeah, Jason Tapp. That's the number one thing. I mean, he did it for 11 years at Union. He's one of the best coaches in the country. He's one of the best, for sure, goalie, but just as a coach, he never had a starter at Union that was less than an American League goalie. I think he had 3 NHL guys out of there, and then Clay, Coop. Now we got our guys going this year.
They got 2.
Yeah, it's Roan and Emmett, and those kids, they deserve a lot of credit. But Jason has a plan for them. He works with them. Again, they're really competitive. They've been great teammates. It's been fun. Depth is important, and at some point we're going to need it. And at some point someone may take the net, but right now they're not letting the other guy creep in. And so they're both getting opportunities every weekend. And we know at some point that'll pay off because they're both can be 1As at the college level.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more with that. By the way, for our Montreal viewers, one of them is a Montreal Canadiens draft pick. Croto's a Montreal Canadiens draft pick. Hey, Coach, another thing I'm curious about with your group, a lot of star power left last year. Let's be frank. A lot of guys left. They went to most of them are playing in the American League. Some are playing the East Coast League. How do you overcome that so quickly? Because there's not a lot of quote unquote star power on your team.
Well, development is number one for us. We just believe in it. Our whole staff believes in it. We got to recruit our butts off, but we got to make guys better. And so there is belief that our juniors are going to come back better than they were as sophomores, or sophomores as freshmen. You lose Hames and Flint in NHL deals as juniors. You lose 2 defensemen, Fusco and Pierce, to pro contracts. But we liked what was coming back. We believe in who we recruited. Mm-hmm. And so we're never going to be the team that has 14 draft picks, and that's okay. It's not our job to recruit draft picks. It's our job to recruit really good hockey players, and we'll turn them we'll maximize who they are. And if one of the 32 teams thinks there's a pro, then that's their call. It's not our call, but we just believe in our development path. So would it be nice to have Lukey and Coop back? Yeah, but we're happy with how we're replacing guys, and we believe in the development. And if we're doing our job, we're going to lose more guys to the NHL, and that's a compliment to how we're going about it. And it only helps us recruit the next wave of kids. It's our job to help these kids get to whatever level they want, both on the ice and in the classroom. And when the NHL says they're ready, then we'll drive them to the airport, because that's every kid's dream, and we're excited to help those kids achieve it.
He's taking Lou Lamoriello's line. That's what he told Brian Giunta when Brian Giunta got the big money from Montreal. Brian says, "Coach, can you match it?" He goes, "No, I'm going to drive you to the airport. You need to take that contract."
Good stuff. Coach, speaking of recruiting, I went back this morning. I was listening to our interview we did with you last season. I think it was around early February, mid-February. And we were talking about, the CHL things coming, the transfer things coming, and how you were going to approach recruiting wise that with the CHL. One of the things I love that you said was you wanted to formulate good relationships with the coaches up there and make them understand that it wasn't just a one-way street where we're trying to take your players here. We can help you too. How has that process gone almost a year later?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, I think there's different levels to the openness with some of those teams up there, whether it's their GMs or their presidents, or some have adapted quicker than others. Some have been a little
stubborn.
Yes, that's a great word. Thank you.
I'll say it.
That's my Quinnipiac degree. I couldn't think of the word stubborn. Some have been a little bit more stubborn, but we're forming relationships with the programs that are interested in it. Certainly the agents, we're forming some really good relationships with some of those advisors and agents. We have kids that are playing both in the OHL and the Quebec League that may not have been, from those areas, but have gone up there, and we're excited about it. There's kids that other programs are recruiting right now that we don't know about. There's just too many kids where I think before Major Junior opened, we all kind of knew about everybody, relatively speaking. Mm-hmm. Now there's kids that we don't know about that Minnesota's recruiting, or Princeton's recruiting that we don't know about, or Cornell. But it goes the opposite way too. Like we're recruiting some kids that we're really excited about that the other Ivies aren't in on right now. And we really feel like you can, if you're going to work as a staff, you can create an advantage in recruiting that you might not be able to do the previous 15 years. But before that, there's a time where Grant Stanbrook could go get lost for 2 months and go get a whole bunch of players to come to Maine that nobody knew about. Right. And we feel like it's getting back to that you can outwork other programs, and our staff has certainly embraced that.
That is so awesome, because that's how St. Lawrence made a living for a lot of years. I can tell you that right now. We owned certain parts of the country, whether it was Saskatchewan or Alberta or even Northern Ontario. We own those places. We definitely own Montreal, which I'm sure Dartmouth is going to try to own pretty soon, which is good. Not a bad thing for Dartmouth. Coach, the other part is depending on the polls you're looking at, you're definitely a top 10 team. Some people think you're a top 5 team. How do you keep your guys grounded so that the normal behavior of a 18 to 23-year-old is, look how cool we are? This has never happened in Dartmouth, probably 1983 or 84. So how do you keep them grounded?
Yeah, it's the highest ranking in kind of modern times. Haven't been to a tournament since 79, 80, longest win streak since 42. So yeah, it's we say present and intentional all the time. Be present and be intentional. And we use that because they got to go to class, they got social life. So when you're at Thompson, you're at the rink, you're present in what you're doing. You're very intentional about what you're doing. And then you leave the rink and go be present and intentional in the classroom and everything else. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be on day one, our expectation. We don't all 6 teams want to win the Ivy, all 12 want to win the ECAC, all 60 plus want to win the NCAA, right? Like those aren't our goals. We said on day one, our goal is to be the best team we can come day one of playoffs and see how hard of an out we can be. So if that's true to us, and we mean that, whether we win or we lose, like every day is, man, how do we maximize today? How great can we be today? And let's go attack tomorrow, the next day. And it's allowed us, when things haven't gone well in past seasons, or last year when we had a little bit of a bump, it allowed us to stay with it. And we came out of it and played pretty good hockey at the end of the year, made a run. We've been consistent for the last 3 years with that messaging, and that's all we do. And we talk about the polls every week and say, hey, we're going to put it out because it helps with recruiting, and we want our recruits to know what we're doing. But it is nothing. Winning is not continuous. Winning is momentary. So we won Saturday night. That was a moment. It doesn't affect us having a good Monday, and it certainly won't help us on Friday. If anything, it sharpens Army up for Friday. So we have to be sharper because we know our opponent's going to be sharper. And that is how we've attacked it. And our team has been really mature about it thus far. But it's, every week that goes by, it's more attention from NHL teams. More NHL people are in our building. My parents are telling me how good I am of a coach, their parents, their girlfriends. And in the locker room, can we be present? Can we be intentional? And can we keep getting better every day?
Yeah, get you on that. Coach, another thing I want to talk about, we've met, Pierre's mentioned this a couple times recently on our podcast, is just how more important the NHL college free agent market is becoming. With expansion likely coming soon, it's going to get even bigger. Do you stress that to some players that are maybe not drafted and maybe look at what am I going to do after school? Like, do I still have a chance? Do you try to stress them that there's still going to be more options? We believe we're as good of a development path as there is in college hockey, and we talk about that in recruiting. We've led the country at times in kids going to development camps that aren't drafted. You look at 2 years ago, we had the top free agent goalie in college hockey. Last year, we had the top free agent forward in Luke Hames. We are getting a lot of attention. So as these kids, they all want to be hockey players. We say, hey, we're going to develop you. Because part of it is we can't live in the portal. And so we got to make our guys better.
Like, we admissions gives us 7 or 8 kids a year. So even if we have a bad year, I can't cut a bunch of kids and bring in 15. We're bringing in 7 or 8 a year, and we're going to make them better. The other thing is, guys, when I was 19, I had 1 scholarship offer, and it was Quinnipiac. And it was not the same Quinnipiac as it is today. And when I was 23, I had 5 NHL offers the day after our season. Like, I got better 19 to 23.
Right.
And then I watched Nick Backstrom develop because he didn't want Connor McMichael to take his job. Right. And I watched TJ Oshie develop because he didn't want Protas to take his, like, those I saw vets in the NHL. So development never ends. So we stress that in recruiting. We just believe in, 1, what our degree will do when hockey ends, but 2, we think we have a plan to maximize our guys.
Hey, I'm going to be politically correct here, Jimmy, because I really like the coach. They don't really give them 7 players. Those kids have to actually get in. It's a hard school to get into.
Yeah.
So they don't just give them 7. I kind of get where he's at, but I'm going to defend the coach here. It's hard to get into Dartmouth.
Oh, yeah.
And I love what they're doing there. How's the new rink? Are you enjoying the new rink, all the work that's gone on?
It's fun to watch. I mean, we got the new scoreboard, which is great for fan entertainment. $35 million renovation is halfway through. There's this massive 3-level addition behind our rink that's pretty close to being complete. And so when our season ends, it's right behind all of our locker room. They're going to bring down that back wall. They're going to rework everything. New locker rooms, new lounges. Right now we share a varsity weight room with 35 other sports. Men's and women's hockey is going to have their own weight room 10 feet away from our locker room. Hydrotherapy, meal nutrition on the top level. Our offices will move over there. You talk about development and our president by Locke, our athletic director, Mike Harity, they would like to see our sports do well. They'd like to see hockey do well. And they spearheaded this project. And come next August, maybe September, we're going to have a pretty impressive facility to walk these kids through.
Jimmy, I encourage anybody that has an opportunity to go to Thompson to go. You know, I coached a lot of games in that building back in the day, and I watched a lot of games over the course of my career, and I've seen it grow. But now I can't wait to go see what's going on. It's going to be pretty special.
That's great. Good stuff. Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here today. We wish you the best of luck and happy holidays to you and your family. We hope, the next time we talk to you, you're still in the same spot.
That'd be great. I appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for doing what you do.
See you, Reid.
Right,
Take
Coach.
care, my man. Yep.
Coach Cashman of Dartmouth joining us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. And Pierre, I love his answer to what I asked about how you deal with this time of the year, because I've even heard it at the pro level talking to coaches. It's tough. People don't realize these guys, these kids, these players, they're human. They have lives outside of hockey. It's tough to stay focused right now during the holidays.
Especially when you're home.
Exactly.
It's easier to stay focused when you're on the road. I remember one year we were home, and I was after practice. Usually I would stay at the rink and I'd watch games and I'd break down tape. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up going Christmas shopping, and I didn't feel good about myself, even though I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about it. And then another year, I remember just before Christmas, we were on a long road trip, and we were in San Jose, LA. Anaheim wasn't in the league yet. And then I think we moved up to Vancouver, and then we came back to Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. And all I remember is how nice the dressing rooms were, because the attendance always made it look special. But our hotel lobbies were unbelievable. we were always together as a group. You know what I mean? Like, Jimmy, the last trip you and I took to Ireland, our lobbies were beautiful.
I was just going to say, when you said lobbies,
were they not beautiful?
Was it Merchant beautiful or what?
Yeah, Merchants is a whole other level up in Belfast. Jimmy knows that's my favorite place. Anybody that's been to Belfast, you go to Merchants and you go to the Clossier for a pint or whatever you choose as a beverage. And they're both connected, and it's pretty impressive. And then you make your way to the Harp.
There you go.
And then you just make your way to the Harp. but the lobbies are beautiful. So my point on that all was, it was easier to be on the road with your team than it was to be home. It really was.
And good point about him too. Like, when you're talking about college kids, it's fun that they don't have class, but then they've got all this free time. right? And it's like, what do you go home and take. I love the point about the nap too, how that was sort of screwing up their routine.
Yeah, Dartmouth's got, like I said, the trimesters, and I know when you're an athlete. So I just my daughter was there for 4 years. They would, and pretty high, super high level athletics. They would go train at the National Training Center. So 1 year would be California, another would be Sarasota, Florida. Another year they might be out in, down in Florida, in Sanford, Florida. They'd go to all these different places, but that's what they would do during. And you can imagine how intense. So all the sports there kind of have this month and a bit where if you're an out of season sport like rowing was or baseball is, you're going somewhere and you're getting like intense training. It's pretty good having the trimester situation.
Yeah, it's great. Good stuff. And by the way, speaking of Belfast, we will be back there for the Friendship Series at the end of December into the new year. Looking forward to that, Pierre. Obviously we rave all the time, but we can't do it enough about Cara Group Travel. They do a great job getting us over there. And of course, the Belfast Giants. And as you and I were talking, Pierre, saw a little tweet from the Odyssey Trust and the Belfast Giants. They're going to have 3 ice over there next year. The tournament. They're going to.
Yeah, in early July, it's going to be great. 3 ice is really outstanding. EJ Johnston, the son of Eddie Johnston, is the principal of that. It's a fantastic enterprise. I watched most of the games last summer. Believe it or not, they were in South Florida last summer.
Yeah.
And so I was watching a lot of those games, and a lot of players, mostly American League level, some East Coast League, some European players, but it's high level. It's not on the NHL size rink. It's on a smaller rink, but it's fun to watch. It's really good hockey. If you're looking for something besides baseball or football training camp, that's a good way to relax a little bit and watch some hockey.
Yeah, Pierre, before we get into our sponsors too, want to say, obviously the games are thinning out a bit in college hockey, but was looking at the schedule this coming weekend. I'll be watching Coach Cashman and his team.
West Point's up there.
Yep. They playing Army there. They're hosting them on, I believe it's Friday. Yeah, Friday
night. It's Friday night.
Friday night. And then there's a couple other good games too. Some ranked teams still in action. North Dakota, we had Dane Jackson on last week. They'll be hosting Omaha. Denver is at St. Cloud State. Minnesota Duluth hosting Arizona State, and there's a few other games there. Any games you're particularly focusing in on, Pierre?
Well, Dartmouth, the coach is right. West Point plays everybody hard. They might not have the most talent. They're just in unbelievable shape. They're very physical. They're not cheap. They're not dirty. They're just hard to play against. Play a certain style. If you're not ready, a lot of Dartmouth surprised a lot of people. They're legit like top 10 right now, and I think they could even be a top 5 team. I really do.
Great point by him, though, Pierre, when he was talking about trying to, and you prompted that when you asked him, how do you handle the growing attention and focus on you? Because it is true. The bullseye wasn't on them, but as they go through this season, the bullseye's on their back.
Especially they haven't lost. So what they have coming up is they've got Army. Then they've got 2 games at home against Arizona State. So that's a little out of their weight class. It's a full scholarship school versus that plays in the NIL game, that plays in the portal game. Dartmouth doesn't do that stuff. So that's going to be interesting to see. Those are 2 games just before New Year's. And then they start back in early January on the road at Hobie Baker against Princeton, not easy. And then they're at his alma mater, Quinnipiac. They're going to know if they're a legit top team by January the 8th. They will know.
Yeah.
And if they run the table between now and then, so it's Army, it's 2 with Arizona State, 1 with Princeton, 1 with Quinnipiac. So that's 5 games. If they run the table and they're 15-0, they're going to be a top 5 team in the country, and they're going to be a hard out. They will be a very hard out.
Pierre, in terms of the rankings there too, I had a friend of mine who watches us all the time, and I got to confess too, I'm still trying to figure it out. Are you starting to understand?
No.
Like how is Dartmouth 10th in the poll but 1 in the NPI?
I don't understand any of it, and I'm not going to lie. The reason why I watch the games is because I've been blessed with being asked to be on the Hobie Baker selection committee, and it's something that I really appreciate and I don't take lightly. So I watch all these games, and I'm not going to give you player A, player B, player C, but there's starting to be a group of players that are starting to separate themselves. I don't think there's any teams that are separating themselves. So, Michigan could be 1 and Wisconsin could be 2, which is kind of where they are in the poll. Michigan State could be 3, and then Dakota could be in there. Duluth could be in there.
Yeah.
Denver could be in there. But it's still early for that. But I think you're starting to see a group of players that are starting to separate themselves, Jimmy, from the pack. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes here.
Yeah. It's almost like the Eastern Conference in the NHL.
Well, that's starting to happen too.
Yep. As we predicted, we're seeing it.
Here's the one thing, and we're not going to take gratuitous cheap shots at the Rangers because it's too easy to do. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But aren't you getting tired? Like, if you're a fan of the Rangers, and I'm not blaming Mike Sullivan and I'm not blaming JT Miller, but after every game or almost every game, you have to say, well, that's not acceptable. That's not the level we need to play at. Like, how many times in a season can you say that?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. And I'm not taking gratuitous shots either, though. But as a member of the media, now look, I'm not there, but I can tell you if I was, and this is how I was trained by people like you and Russ Conway, I would ask a follow-up there. Okay, so what is acceptable? Specifically, what is not acceptable? Don't just take these generic lines. And you know what? I know that, for some young reporters out there, you might be afraid maybe the coach would snap at you or not give you. Chances are, I think coaches these days, here for the most part, appreciate follow-ups and in-depth questions as opposed to the statement questions where you're not even asking a question, you're just throwing these softballs. They want you to think. They want you to get behind your question and formulate it. So ask those follow-ups.
Way to go, Jimmy. That's good. That's really good. So I'll give you an example. If you're doing a bench interview with a coach and his team's got a 3-0 lead, the question isn't, how do you feel about the 3-0 lead? That's not the question. The question is, what did you do to establish a 3-goal lead?
Exactly.
Because when you do those interviews, you need to take people to a place where they've never been before. Mm-hmm. And most people have never been inside the head of an NHL head coach.
No.
So take them there.
Yeah.
And the only thing, I can tell you this. Quenneville used to tell me this. Coach Babcock used to tell me this. Cooper used to tell me this. DeBoer used to tell me this. All these great coaches, Vigneault, they all want an opportunity to show people that they're not dummies standing back there. So if you ask them the right question, they're actually going to give you some unbelievable intel.
They are.
But if you ask a dumb question, which we see a lot of, unfortunately, you're not going to get anything from them. They're going to laugh at you.
And you're going to get, you'll know you screwed up when they say, is there a question in there? Like that's when you know you're in deep trouble.
The other one is sometimes it's really loud. It is because they put artificial noise into the building with the speakers. So if you ask a question where the coach isn't like really comfortable and you see him say, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
He heard you. He just doesn't want to answer.
He just doesn't want to answer.
Good stuff there. All right. Listen, let's get to our wonderful sponsors right now, Vago Italian and Betway, but we'll start with Vago, where they combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount section of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And our good producer, Shane, will be hosting his mom for her retirement celebration at Vago tonight. We're recording this Thursday, so I say tonight because you'll see it on Friday. So we wish them the best of times there. Pierre, I know that you're going to suggest.
I talked to Angelo, one of the proprietors, and I said to Angelo, Sheila's going there. And he goes, who's Sheila? And I said, it's our producer, Shane's mom. She's retiring. So they can't wait to host
That's awesome.
Shane and his family, and especially Sheila. So that's really good.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
That's good. Angelo's all gunned up.
Yeah.
He sent me the reservation sheet this morning. He did. I'm not kidding you.
I was actually, Pierre, before we came on to record this, I was talking to our good friend Stu Ashton, who owns McLean's.
Over McLean's.
Yep, it's his birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And he was asking, when's the next time you're up here? I miss you. You and Pierre got to come by and say hi. And I said, we will be up there. We're actually going to be live from Vago for the Winter Olympics at lunchtime. And he said he might swing by to say hello
that's cool.
one of those days as well. So looking forward to that.
Really nice.
And of course, our wonderful sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties. You got to be a new member to get this great deal they're still offering. So go right there to the QR code in front of you to create your membership. Or if you're not watching, just go to the website in the members section, fill out the details there, and you will get up to $300 back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. That's right. Free play, even if you lose your first bet, only at Betway. You must be 18 plus. Always bet responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. One of those terms is you cannot get this deal right now in Ontario. Pierre, as I always do on On-Campus Friday, going to go to my picks and look at the college hockey board, and I'm going to go right to the big green right there. They are hosting, as we said, Army. Given their ranking, and as Pierre said, given the fact Army's having kind of a tough season, they are heavy favorites, Pierre. It's not even worth it if you're a better going on the money line. They're minus 500. You can't even get a puck line at minus 1.5. It's actually a minus 2.5. So I'm going to tell you to veer away from that. Look at the over-under, and given the amazing goaltending of Dartmouth right now, give me an under 6.5, and give me a team total of Army at under 2.5, given that great goaltending that Dartmouth's getting. And then I'm going to go to the late game there with North Dakota is hosting Omaha. You can get the puck line there, and that's what I'll take there for some positive value at plus 105. North Dakota minus 1.5. So that's what they're looking at. Pierre, as we record this, it is prior to Jacob Fowler's anticipated NHL start. So that's why we can't really touch on it. I know our fans watching right now want us to, but we don't know what the score is going to be yet. But all I can say is heading into it, I think you'll agree with me. We are very excited for that young, sensational rookie to get his NHL career going. And again, you know, I know you and Mitch Melnick touched on it on Wednesday, that great sound clip from Brendan Gallagher after practice where he looked back on when Carey Price started off. It wasn't always rosy, took a bit of time. So no matter what happened last night, we don't know again right now. Just want to say to the Habs fans out there, just stay the course. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. That's all.
He's eventually going to have a very good career.
That's what I think too.
He's going to have a very good career.
Yep. It's going to be great. And I was texting with somebody in the Habs organization on Thursday. Very excited to see what he can do. Pierre, listen, my friend, you have a wonderful weekend. I'm looking forward to another great week. Again, we are getting closer to another trip over to Ireland. As we have more details on that, we will let you know. But until Monday, he's Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. This has been another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.